Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Idioms 296. The idiom today is come a long way. Okay, let's take a look at the note here. If a person says that someone or something comes a long way, it means he, she, or it has made significant progress at something. Okay, let's continue. The exact origin is not 100% clear. To come a long way may have simply branched off of the phrase to go a long way, which also means to achieve much success or progress. However, there was one event that clearly popularized this phrase to be instilled in the minds of many Americans. During the height, the high point, during the height of the women's liberation movement, the cigarette company that made the cigarette called Virginia Slims created an ad campaign. The Virginia Slims cigarettes were a little thinner and a little longer, so it made them look a little bit more elegant. They clearly were directed towards women, to get women to smoke more. This was definitely in the 1970s. They were targeted towards women. The commercials, magazines, ads, billboards, etc. had the famous line, "You've come a long way, baby." Okay. These ads clearly were directly connecting the idea of women's liberation and smoking. So meaning that, all the way back, if you went before the early 1900s, at one time it was never illegal for women to smoke. But there was a time where it was kind of socially taboo for women to smoke. And of course they started smoking probably in the 1920s, 1930s. But obviously it was still a smaller percentage, and then it became more and more and more. But this ad was making it look like, this was part of their freedom. You've come a long way, baby. Remember the days where it was even socially taboo for you to smoke. So they were working, the ad campaign, figured out a way to somehow get the idea of women's liberation in this. And the phrase caught on, to come a long way. Now it's a regular phrase that often means progress. And of course, it doesn't have to have anything to do with women's liberation. It just means that somebody progresses in some way. It's very, very common these days. Okay, let's continue. We got 3 examples of how we might hear it used today. Example number 1. Your English ability has come a long way since you started taking private lessons. So it has advanced a lot. Very, very clearly you are getting better and better. All right, number 2, the video game industry has come a long way since the introduction of Atari's Pong. That was a game that was really, really basic by the standards even back then. It was supposed to be like ping pong. There was this little dot going across the video screen, bong, pong, pong, pong. It was really a very basic game, and in comparison to what they have today, of course, there's almost no limit. So we could say the video industry has come a long way since that time. That's what we're saying. Since the game Pong was introduced in the 1970s. Okay, and the last one here. She has come a long way with her rehabilitation. She is now able to walk. This might be somebody who had an accident or a car accident. They weren't able to walk for a long time, and maybe they went to rehabilitation, and maybe it took them many, many months, but now they've come a long way. Now they're able to move around, to get around on their own, so they've come a long way. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. Hope it was clear. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.